Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Grand day to you. It is Marcus Christolight here of Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. And today, me and my wonderful brother, Jacob Rakowski here, we are going to be talking about a little bit of our holistic health journeys. And along with these journeys, there's a few products and other wonderful medicinal quality things that we've been using in our everyday life to help bring balance and maintain a holistic and healthy lifestyle. So a little bit about my own self, just to introduce myself very briefly. I go by Marcus or Christolight, and I practice many different holistic healing practices, about 8 or 9 different practices. I also am a content creator, and I help teach and educate us on holistic healing, as well as the multidimensional aspects of the human being, from the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual standpoints. And Jacob, we had met back in, I believe it was 2019. And when we met, we came together for a beautiful purpose and a beautiful reason. And now we've kind of reunited recently this year for a similar purpose, but even more expanded. And I'm really grateful to be able to share this space with you today. Welcome, Jacob.
My brother, thank you so much for having me. It's been such a blessing seeing how you've continued to impact the world over the last 5 years. As we've, moved in and out of each other's orbit, good friends, you don't need to talk with them every day, but when you do reconnect with them, it's like no time has passed. So
That's right.
Thanks for being a blessing to this earth and helping so many people just shine their light like we're all supposed to be, a light on a hill, and be elevating and blessing as many people as we can with the gifts that God has given us. And you live that every single day. So I'm honored and blessed to be a part of this project with you, brother.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And it's an honor to have you. You do the same. You live with the highest in the forefront, and you demonstrate that very beautifully. And you also demonstrate that wonderfully with your family as well.
Thank you so much.
So, Jacob, if you may, share a little bit with us what your holistic and conscious journey has been like for you on your healing path, along with just your self-awakening and awareness when it comes to your connection to the divine.
Absolutely. Wow. Such a loaded question. So much I could share.
Yeah.
I'll just share a little bit about myself. I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised here. Been traveling throughout my early 20s for about 5 years as an entrepreneur, speaking and just journeying and seeing the world. In 2019, I got married to my beautiful soulmate, and over the last 5 years, we've had 3 beautiful children. That's been a whole journey in itself. If you have become a parent, you know that it's a journey from self to contributing to the whole. And you really get a huge appreciation for your parents and how much they love you and how much God loves you. Because when I look at my kids, I think, oh my gosh, how much infinitely more does God love every single person on this earth. and the feeling that I feel for my kids, God feels for everybody. And how can I spread that love for that I feel for my family into as many people as possible? So in terms of my spiritual journey, I got introduced to the universe, God, and spirituality at the age of 16 years old. I was at a very dark place in my life and was hanging out with a community that was not leading me in the right direction. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I was getting into trouble, and just not so much getting into trouble, because we can all get into trouble and learn something, but I just was like, what is life even about? What is the purpose of life? And a friend had introduced me to the Bible, and I just said, well, I have no context of this. I can't see it, so it must not be real. How wrong was I? But I started devoting myself and consecrating myself on a daily basis to, no matter what, for minimum 30 minutes a day as my spiritual study. I'm going to read the Bible, and I'm going to spend time in meditation and contemplation and prayer and quieting myself. And the joy and the wellspring of life began to emerge from within me, to where every day, everywhere I looked, everything I saw was beautiful and filled with God. And just 6 months before, everything was dark and everything was challenging and everything was purposeless. So I'm a true believer that if you go within, that is where joy is. No amount of wealth, no amount of anything can give you the true fulfillment that knowing the divine and having a day-to-day relationship with the divine and with yourself can give you. So I had a very powerful spiritual experience where I closed my eyes and I met the Christ Jesus himself. And from that moment forward, life was much more rich and beautiful. But it doesn't stay that way. What Marcus is doing on a daily basis and sharing with this community is how to cultivate that love and that presence within you. And if you're not taking that time, it's out of sight, out of mind. If you're not taking that time for yourself, you are going to completely forget about it. So it's so important for me to do my daily spiritual practice. Even today, every single day before I do anything, I spend that time to connect within so I can be my best in the world, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, for my businesses, for my family, and for all those that I am in communication with. So today, now, being married for 5 years, my wife and I have a few different passion projects and things that we really, really love to share with the world. Number one is we are manifestation coaches. We teach people how to use manifestation and personal development, and a lot of the spiritual studies that we've adopted over our lifetimes to manifest their soulmate. And we teach people how to become the greatest version of themselves in order to attract that perfect partner that is totally in alignment with you and your purpose and the highest version of you. And that's been such a blessing, seeing so many people attract that dream partner into their life and seeing how that just shows them how real God is. Because if you ask, you shall receive, and what you want is always looking for you. A more recent passion project that I have taken on is writing a book called The Fatherhood Manual. Kids don't come with a manual. And if you are prepped in any way before you have kids, it'll make your journey so much sweeter if you have some knowledge going into the game of understanding that life completely changes after you have kids. And it's the single greatest investment you could ever make. Because when you die 50, 100 years from now, the only thing likely that's going to live on from you is your children. So every single day, I'm focused on being a conscious father, conscious parent, and helping as many people as I can do the same. And third of all, a project that Marcus and I are working on, in particular right now, in the health field, in the mental health field, and in the consciousness upgrade field, is helping people put quality things into their bodies that are not going to add toxins and add stress to their system, and the number one thing that causes people to get sick is stress and toxins. It can be labeled this, it can be labeled that, but overall what it is the body has too many toxins to handle, so it manifests in the form of disease. And the body is so stressed that it can't heal and recuperate itself, so it starts to implode. So, we have a project that we're going to kind of give you a sneak preview on today. It's not fully ready. I'm sorry. It will be soon. But we're going to introduce you to something that's been really powerful for Marcus and I to upgrade our consciousness and increase our mental health and decrease the amount of toxins that we're putting into our body on a daily basis, and increase the way that we feel every single day in terms of our mood and our energy levels. So that's me in a 5-minute window, my brother.
Beautiful, man. Thank you so much for sharing yourself and embarking upon the beautiful path that you're walking on. Thank you. And it takes a lot of devotion, it takes a lot of discipline, and it takes a lot of unconditional love. So thank you for embodying that, brother. And it's one of the biggest keys is embodiment. Embodiment, I always say it's like a two-way street with the divine. It's like, we can always ask and give prayer for what we would like or what we want and what we want to manifest in our life. But then the other second part of the two-way street is, since we are living beings in this earth plane with these vessels and temples, it requires that we take action of alignment, vibrationally and energetically aligning our being with that type of manifestation that you wish to attract into your life. So that does involve a little bit of, clearing out the heart, doing some forgiveness, being able to let go of the past, being able to dive deep into your traumas and wounds and other things of the past that could be keeping us from just really being our most happiest, most peaceful and loving self. And yeah, man, it's such a very deep, dirty, but beautiful journey when it comes to the self-healing process. So I guess I'll go ahead and share a little bit about myself more in depth and what has led me into this pathway, and also into what it is that Jacob and I have been embarking upon. So I'm not going to get too deep, but to really shorten up the story, I was really involved with addiction as well as the street life of selling different substances. And I was going to a lot of music festivals. I was hanging out with like the Grateful Deadhead crowd and people like that. And what came with that was just a lot of substance abuse. And through that substance abuse, I was also finding parts of myself spiritually at the same time. And with that, I had a good friend of mine at the time that was already a Reiki master, and he was already in tune with yoga teachers, the chakras, breath work, and everything like that. And we ended up hanging out about every single day. Really good best friends, basically. And through that, I started learning meditation, Reiki, and the chakras, and all these other beautiful practices that we have at our hands. And as I continued to practice these practices in my own space during my own time, I started seeing some really positive effects and results through these holistic practices. And the holistic practices, such as guided meditations and breath work and yoga, they all helped me be able to ground different emotions such as anger, impatience, frustration, not having clarity, or feeling like I was getting drained throughout the day. So when I started noticing these differences, I found myself less and less feeling dependent, less and less feeling like I had impulses and urges to fulfill myself with something outside of me, such as a substance. And along with that in the journey, I was also transitioning out of the diet that I was in, which was the standard traditional American diet, junk food, heavily processed meats, loads of dairy, all that stuff. And I was exploring different diets such as vegetarian, vegan, Ayurvedic, and a couple of others. So mixing all this together, the diet, the practices, the mindset, it all started really reprogramming and rebuilding my being to something more light and something more of higher love. And along with that, I also started exploring many different herbal remedies and other plant-based wonderful medicines that we've had naturally for thousands of years. And some of those natural substances or plant remedies that we've had is the superfood mushrooms. And superfood mushrooms have been around for millennia, maybe even since the beginning of Earth, from what we know. And there's so many different types, from lion's mane to cordyceps to reishi and beyond. And they all uniquely serve their own purpose in how they can either regenerate, revitalize, or bring restoration to the human being. So as I started exploring these different herbs and other avenues of alternative healing, as we call it, I just started becoming more aware of the natural and the organic pathway that we've had since our ancestors and beyond. And I never really thought this, but I started really realizing that what I consume when it comes to food and drinks and things like that, it actually has, if not some of the greatest effect on our everyday well-being. And not just our well-being, but our functioning, our ability to work, to be part of a family, to be able to take care of ourselves and beyond. So back to the story a little bit. I was exploring the different practices and at the same time also dealing with the addiction phase. And 2017 came around and I had been set up by an undercover, and I had sold to the undercover and I ended up going to prison for about 11 months in 2017. I got out around Thanksgiving time, and what was really unique about my trip there is when I went in there, I ended up teaching about 8 other inmates, guided meditation, as well as how to balance their chakras through breath work and meditation. So it's like a very rare occurrence to take place in a prison setting. I know for my own self, I didn't see that happening anywhere in the prison, didn't hear about it. Nobody was really offering to do things like that. So it was a very unique and very divine pathway that had been put on in this path of going in there. So long story short, I ended up becoming a very positive and enlightening influence for many different souls in there. And when I had gotten out, I was inspired to go ahead and create what it's now Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. And the whole intention of why I created this was to not only share my experiences and share these practices that were able to help me be able to overcome my lower desires, my fears, and my struggles to be who I am today, and give everybody else the opportunity to be able to have the same type of information, the same type of knowledge, as well as the wisdom, and apply it into their everyday life, if they wish to, at their own. So I created Sacred Light Healing and Wellness with the intention to bridge community worldwide, provide easier access to conscious knowledge and holistic health. So now I have a podcast and a couple of shows that I produce. And then I have about 8 to 9 different services I provide, from Reiki and to other practices. So now today, one of the biggest things that have been really assisting me along this journey is what me and Jacob have come together for in our partnership and collaboration. And that is dealing with having a healthy, alkaline, and medicinal quality product of coffee and tea that I've been consuming daily. And I'll be honest with all of you. The funny thing is, I'm not really a coffee drinker. And when it came to this coffee right here, it is something that I actually consume daily. And the reason why I consume it daily is because of the medicinal, the organic, and the healing benefits that it provides. And that says a lot for me because I'm not someone that is big on coffee, and I actually thoroughly enjoy it, and I find very great benefit. And I'm also very sensitive when it comes to my physical body, especially now that I'm fully plant-based, mainly organic. I don't have artificials and synthetics and acidic foods being put in my body. So I really feel the difference energetically. And when I drink this coffee, I literally feel nothing in my stomach, like no acid reflux or acidic feel at all. I don't feel jittery. I don't feel like I lose control of my nervous system. And I don't have a crash and come down. And these things are huge for me with what I do. I'm content creating multiple times a week. I'm serving in energy healing, which means I'm also transmuting, moving through energy, and also holding space for others. And it's very vital for me that I'm replenishing my being with things that are going to really uplift me, regenerate me, and bring restoration. And that is one thing that this wonderful coffee and tea has really brought to my life every day. So, wow, man, I'm just really grateful. And I'll go ahead and hand it over to you if you would like to share a little bit of what it's done for you in your life.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Thank you so much. I didn't know all those things about you, man, but congratulations on all that you've done and all that you become. And contrasts in our lives are so beautiful. People who would look at me and you would never think that we had certain stories that we could tell about our past. And it's literally an entirely different person, an entirely different lifetime. And that's just God experiencing God's self through us. And
Yes.
without those experiences, if you were born here in the position that you're in right now, if I was born in the position that I'm in right now, if you listening were born into the position that you're in right now, and you didn't have the exact opposite, you wouldn't even know what it was like to be so grateful for the opposite, because you can't know that you're skinny without people around you that are overweight. You can't know that you're healthy without people around you that are sick. You can't know light without darkness. You can't know rich without being challenged financially at some point in your life. All of these things are so crucial for the level of enjoyment that you can actually experience. People who are born into immense levels of wealth or immense levels of this, they literally don't even have any context for what that means or how it is, because they've never experienced anything else. So it's always beautiful to hear how God works through situations in order to grow us into who we're supposed to be, and then help us shine our light and story as an example for the world. So you may be listening to this and you may say, well, I drink coffee every day, but what would be the reason why I would stop drinking my normal coffee if I drink it when I get up in the morning? It helps me get to work. It helps me be functional and productive. You know, I work so many hours. I'm an entrepreneur, or I'm a parent, or I am, a fitness enthusiast, and it's absolutely necessary. So we're all doing this every single day. But you don't know how much better that energetic smoothness can feel until you've actually experienced it. So ask yourself a question. When drinking coffee, have you ever experienced a headache? Have you ever experienced a stomach ache, like the acid reflux? Have you ever experienced a crash? Have you ever experienced brain fog? Have you ever felt just kind of like low immunity? You can't really describe that feeling, but you just kind of feel sluggish. Those things that I just mentioned may be from the coffee you're drinking, but they may actually not be directly from the coffee that you're drinking. And this is brand new information. You can look this up online. There's a hidden culprit within a lot of coffees that you may not be aware of until you're listening to this right now. If you ever research on Google mycotoxins in coffee, mycotoxins are another word for mold. Mold, like mold that grows, outside when it's humid. Mold, microscopic mold. If your coffee is not lab tested, if your coffee has not been thoroughly tested, beginning, middle, and end, all the symptoms that I mentioned, headaches, stomach aches, jitters, crashes, gut aches, low immunity, all those things are symptoms of mold toxicity. And the person in the chat who said, you think the jitters come from toxins? That's right. If you research symptoms of mold toxicity, they're also most of the symptoms people experience when they're drinking non-lab tested coffee. So is it really the coffee, or is it the quality of the coffee? The short-term effects of mold toxicity are all the things I mentioned, but what are the long-term effects? And we don't think about this. We don't think about this because we're busy. We're doing our thing. I just spoke with somebody earlier today who's a really good friend of mine. He's a holistic pharmacist. He's extremely healthy. But when he was 33 years old, and we're working together on this project as well, my friend who's the holistic pharmacist, when he was 33 years old, out of nowhere, he had a heart attack. Like literally, he could have died. He was in the hospital, his heart, he had a heart attack. And he was like, how is this even possible? And they tested, and it was due to mold. And he was a daily consumer of many things that he found out actually had mold. So once he heard about this coffee and this movement, he now recommends it to all of his clients because he firsthand experienced and nearly left this earth because of the hidden culprit within coffee that is causing all of these challenges and pains for literally hundreds of millions of people on this earth every single day. So when we're trying to elevate ourselves spiritually, when we're trying to be our best mentally, when we're trying to be healthy and have energy for our careers, our passions, our families, and doing all the things that we love to do, every piece and every unit of toxicity we add to our body is further and further and further moving us into a toxicity overload. And when your body is in toxicity overload, it manifests in terms of headaches, stomach aches, jitters, and eventually turns into disease. And you go from a productive, happy, healthy member of society into a person that is experiencing pains that are unexplainable, diseases that manifest out of nowhere. And these little things that are happening to more and more people's bodies every single day now that are unexplainable. Well, what is one habit that 80% of adults have every single day? It's their morning habit. It's their ritual, their coffee. And we realized that we can no longer, in good conscience, be putting this into our body on a daily basis. Because every time I see somebody now drinking a normal cup of coffee, I'm like, oh, I really hope, I really pray that if it's not lab tested, that it's clean. Because that person is putting themselves more at a deficit, one cup at a time every single day. But the journey of 1,000 positive health choices begins with a single cup. And that is the cup that Marcus and I are going to be sharing with you guys very soon. Is not ready yet, but very soon we're going to be sharing with you how you can elevate your consciousness, detox your body, elevate your health every single day with a lab-tested, mold-free, pesticide-free, heavy metal-free coffee that is also infused with reishi mushroom, which reishi mushroom is one of the top superfoods on the planet and has a plethora of proven health benefits. But for sure, with this coffee, there's no jitters, there's no crashes, there's no headaches, there's no stomach aches. You feel a much more clean energy to function in your day-to-day life. So in the very near future, Marcus is going to give his entire community the ability to experience this. And if you'd like to, you'll have the opportunity to get on a one-on-one private Zoom with him, and he will be sharing with you exactly the specific way that this can benefit you by interviewing you and seeing your specific health challenges and how this may be able to help you. In terms of my time today, my brother, I have just about to hop off. My 3 little ones are ready to play. Our babysitter is getting ready to get off for the day, so I have got to help out. But I feel like this 30-minute podcast, this 30-minute session right here, for the right person could be life-changing, because something that you do every single day over a period of 40 to 60 to 80 to 100 years, depending on how long we're living, into the future as things advance. If you're doing it every single day, tens of thousands of times, and it's super positive versus super negative for your health, that could mean the difference between dying an early death and living an extra long, happy, healthy, joy-filled life full of energy and cleanliness and being able to experience your purpose on this earth for as long as possible. So we are so grateful that God has given us this information. We literally could not wait any longer to share it with you, because every single day counts. But in terms of being able to introduce it to you, that's coming very soon. So stay tuned. We will be releasing this, and we will be bringing this straight to you in as soon as possible of a timeline. And we just want to make the world a healthier place, make the world a better place, help people live longer, be happier, and accomplish their purpose. So my brother, thank you for having me on. And I'm really, really blessed for all the ears to hear and eyes to see, that making a simple change every single day can have such massive health impacts. The journey of 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 positive health choices literally begins with one single cup. So I'm blessed that you had me on, and I hope everybody got value today. And we will be back with more very, very soon for y'all.
Jacob, man, thank you so much for joining us today. And I know you have to get going. So I'll wrap it up myself. I just want to show them a couple of things real quick, just on what you basically just touched on, and just kind of rephrase it with everybody when it comes to the benefits of what it is that we're going to be talking about in our future podcast. And then I'm actually going to wrap us up with a very brief meditation as well for the audience.
Beautiful, brother. I'll hop off. I trust you'll close it out well. And thank you guys for taking the time. And I'm looking forward to the day very soon where we can be back and we can physically give you this gift, because I've been consuming this for 12 years.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
The tagline of the day is, friends don't let friends drink moldy coffee. We can't let you drink moldy coffee any longer.
I love
we love
that.
you guys. And man, thank you. They're going to be so blessed.
Jacob, I love you, brother. You enjoy the rest of your day and have a beautiful time with your family.
Sure will, brother. Thank you so much. God bless everyone.
Jacob Rakowski, everybody, out of Houston, Texas. Sarah, I'm going to suggest this product to my sister. Wow, how beautiful. I love to hear that. And Sarah, just reach out to me if you would like. You know where to reach out to me at. And we can talk more about this in private and talk about the details in depth if you would like.
You know we be with it, we off in the hood like some wizards. Nobody ever gave us anything. Meant something from nothing, just like magicians. Gotta relearn everything. Just to remember that I was forgetting. Just to remember that we had a vision. Did it all, don't know how I did it. Time to go start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we on the mission. Off on the mission, you know how it goes. Off in the system, they turn up their nose. They took all the soil, but they didn't know. Through the concrete, you see the ropes. Eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
So as we wrap up here in this live podcast space, I just wanted to briefly touch on a couple of things that Jacob had mentioned when it comes to these products of coffee, and not just coffee, but also tea as well. And there's also some other hidden gems that we'll be speaking on in the future. But real quick, I just wanted to show this real quick. Okay. So just as Jacob was rephrasing for us about this coffee is, number one, it's lab tested. So it is 100% professionally and clinically lab tested. And what it tests for is the mold that Jacob touched on. It tests for pesticides, heavy metal toxins, and then it is also infused with 100% organic log-grown reishi mushroom. Now, this is really important here. This is really key. 100% organic log-grown reishi mushroom. So we'll be touching on a little bit later on in the future in a different podcast what this process looks like in depth. And then we're going to also show you what it looks like compared to the other mainstream traditional ways that they grow the reishi mushroom for their products. There are organic, nature, log-grown reishi mushrooms. And then there are reishi mushrooms that are grown in bags and in other non-organic and man-made ways. The difference of this is when something is 100% organic and grown in its fully natural way of nature, you're then getting more of that true, potent benefit of what that is supposed to be in its organic nature compound. Therefore, it's more potent. You're receiving more medicinal quality of what its benefits are, compared to something that is grown in a bag, which is not natural for it. It then is not able to blossom or to grow into its full capacity organically of what its blueprint or what its coding system is meant to be for us. So yes, traditional mainstream coffee that you buy from the store has mold in it, is filled with pesticides, heavy metals, very acidic for the stomach, gives you crazy jitters and crashes, and that is something that is not present within the coffee that we are going to be talking to you about. So now I'm going to also show you guys one other graphic, and then we're going to close out with a brief guided meditation. So a little bit of a brief differences of what regular coffee and what this coffee that Jacob and myself have been embarking upon looks like side by side. So, number one, regular coffee, you get aggravative acid reflux, upset stomachs are more bound, headaches, jitters, crashes, challenges falling asleep due to the caffeine, increased anxiousness, and then lattes and mochas have a lot of dairy, sugars, it raises your blood pressure, and contributes to weight gain. Now, the coffee that we are going to be presenting to you guys in depth in the future, it is very nourishing with vitamins and minerals. It has over 100 antioxidants. It is also alkaline and has a balanced pH, scientifically and lab tested, naturally detoxifies, boosts the immune system, improves sleep by calming the brain and body due to the mushroom supplement. It has no jitters, no crash, no anxiety. I'm even drinking some right now, and I absolutely just feel centered and vitally energized from within. I don't feel my nervous system being ran by an artificial stimulation. So then it also supports your metabolism, helps you lose weight, helps support your athletic and academic performance by oxygenation of the body and the mind due to the reishi. The reishi brings the oxygen to the body. It also rehydrates and brings better focus and recovery as well. And then it's also blood sugar friendly. There's no added sugars whatsoever. And then it can also possibly help decrease dependence on chemical substances and addictive behaviors. And then last, increased nitric oxide. So you tell me, which of those sounds like something that's more appealing for you and your well-being and your health when it comes to not just yourself, but also your family, your loved ones, and those that you know that are drinking coffee daily, if not once, multiple times a day. And when you really think about it, if we're going to consume something daily, constantly, and we know that it has mold, that it's acidic, that it's filled with pesticides, that it has all these different things that bring us out of balance, can also cause further damage to our system. Maybe it is best that we consider not just eliminating it, but switching it over to something that could be beneficial, medicinal, and clinically used to bring therapeutic and healing to our being. So we'll touch more, me and Jacob, on a later podcast about this opportunity fully in depth for you guys to be able to embark upon. And for now, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. And I'm going to do a brief breathwork meditation with all of you. And if you do have questions, if you have questions right now and you're eager or you're interested in what it is that we've talked about, feel free to reach out to me. You guys can reach out now if you would like. You don't have to wait for a future podcast. But let's go ahead and get comfortable if you would like to be a part of this meditation. And we'll do a little bit of Egypt music in the background. As we begin this meditation, go ahead and get comfortable. And you consider lay down for this practice. If you are sitting, just make sure that you're having your back as straight as you can. If you have any ailments, just do what you can to the best of your ability. You can use a pillow, a bed, a couch, whatever you may need. If you're laying down, make sure you have your legs straight and not crossed so that we're not blocking the flow of energy in and out of the soles of our feet. And then we're going to check in with the body. We're going to relax the shoulders, make sure that they're dropped to the side. And then check in with the legs, make sure that we are not holding onto tension in the legs. Making sure that we're not curling our toes and that we're not balling our fist. And then we're going to make sure that we are not clenching our teeth. This helps us soften the body to allow the streamline of energy to flow through us for releasing as well as receiving. And now we're going to focus on the breath. Breathing in through the nose, expanding the stomach. And then breathing out of the mouth, releasing the stomach. When you breathe in, you may direct that breath all the way down the body to the earth, to ground, and then cycle it back up to release out of the mouth. So you can go ahead and close your eyes if you would like and just focus on this breath pattern for a moment. Remember to relax the body and the shoulders. As you breathe, just allow yourself to be present. Let go of any expectations, any obligations outside this present space. Staying with the breath. And as you continue to breathe, I invite you to place your hands on your heart, on the center of your chest. Continue to cycle these breaths through the heart. As you continue to breathe, allow yourself to feel the energy and the expansion of the heart chakra. Begin to fill with green rays of love. And just continue to breathe and expand this green, unconditional love. As you continue to breathe, feeling this green energy begin to fill and pour through your body. All right, go ahead and take a final big deep breath, breathing in all of this heart chakra energy. And release. Namaste. Thank you to all of you that tapped into this live podcast space. Conscious Coffee Conversations, Episode 1, with myself, Marcus Christolight. and our brother Jacob Rakowski in Houston, Texas. If you have any questions, reach out. You can direct message myself along with Jacob. Our information will be down below in the description. And if you have any questions about the coffee or anything that we have touched on regarding your holistic health journey, as well as your healing process, reach out as well. This does it for this live podcast. Thank you to all of you on Instagram. Thank you to all of you on YouTube that have tapped in or will be tapping in. Keep an eye for the next podcast with Jacob and I, as we will be diving deeper into what it is that we have to offer you guys and give you opportunity to embark upon in your journey. You guys can catch me live tomorrow on Instagram and on YouTube, as I will be doing episode 3 of Ascending Beyond Limitations, the Raw Material Law of One podcast with myself and Soul Awakening with Sandra. That will be at 1 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube and on Instagram. I will see you guys all then. Have a blessed day. Wholeness and balanced love.
At the age of 16 years old, I was at a very dark place in my life.